goes a little something like.
Hello Literates, I'm Britt Ryderly and welcome back to Writer's Ambition. For those of you just finding my humble channel, welcome, we hope you stay well. And for those of you who've been hanging in since episode 1, use the real one. So, you see how I flipped it a little bit? You know, keep you on your toes. Also, no, we're just going to go with those keeping you on your toes. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to be very honest with you. The only reason I am dressed and sitting in front of this camera is because I want nachos. I have to leave the house to get them, and that got me out of my daytime PJs. So, this is going to be a quick video because Britt is after what? Nachos. Correct. So, we're going to go through my March HonesTEA goals real quick. And then we're going to skid right into my April goals, and you did that. Amen? All right, here we go. So my goals for March were to finish my Tales of Eliza Black Part 1 revision, to keep writing Chapter 1 of my dissertation, to work up the hashtag First Fantasy incidentals as they came to my spirit, and then to read The Anatomy of Story by John Truby. Okay. Here's what actually happened. Not bad things, actually. I did finish, so we're now in the you did that section, I suppose. I did finish part 1 of my revisions for Eliza Black. I also got to the halfway point, really beyond the halfway point, but I got halfway through chapter 1 of my dissertation. I have to keep going for that because for those of you who don't know, I just switched my dissertation thesis like 6 weeks ago, and I pretty much felt like I was like what I changed was my canon and my guiding questions. And I was like, this is a project that I can actually work on for the next 2 years and, be associated with my name for 5 years after that and feel like there's energy around this. And not that I didn't feel like there was energy around, like, general energy around my last thesis. I was just baked on it. I really was. I've been thinking about that for 3 years. It changed a bit in the last stages and I wasn't feeling the changes. So I was like, let's do what we actually want to do. So I switched, which was great, but then I felt like a couple things. One, I was like, this is not the idea that I've been thinking about for the past 3 years. So I'm still struggling through articulating it, one. And then two, I need to read the literature on science fiction and fantasy, like the critical literature on science fiction and fantasy, and also look at the tradition, who started it, who were the old heads in it, how did Black people engage or not engage with it for like the first 50 years. And really, I won't get into it, but that's not all the way, I won't get into it. So, I had to be able to answer those questions, and I'm still accounting for them. But when I changed my dissertation thesis, I was like, oh, you're going to be way behind. And I'm not. I do need to be productive every day and hit my goals to the best of my ability, giving myself grace because we're still in a panorama. My school's been very generous it's what they should be doing. But, we still appreciate to give everyone who's in their third year and above an additional year to get their work done. So, I'm fine. I'm just tired of being in grad school. But I do have, a couple of more, funded years to get this done if I end up needing them. So, the rush that I'm feeling is, 55% my own, but there's other things. Anyway, I'm getting distracted and I was doing really well. Remember the nachos. We're moving on. So the point is, I am halfway through my chapter 1 of my dissertation. It's going really well. And yesterday I bumped into an older idea about Black kinship, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's you again! And I was very excited because I actually wrote on Black kinship for my Black literary theory exam, and I was like, oh, exciting. It's always really exciting to realize that you are continuing to engage similar ideas and themes in your work, because that's familiar. And when I was feeling like, oh, I've changed my thesis and that's going to put me in an entirely new area, to realize that it's actually just a different theoretical framework and grounding for thinking about a lot of the same things, I felt a lot better. And it also helps me to focus on, okay, so what new things do you need to read? Because maybe it's not as much as you thought it was. So that was a huge, you did that for me, getting halfway through, but also like what happened at that halfway through mark where I was like, oh, wait, this thread of an idea is very familiar. So I'm finding my way through that. And then I started Anatomy of Story. I got to like chapter 1 or through chapter 1. Good stuff. Anyway, so my April HonesTEA goals. I only have 3. Here we go. Oh, I didn't even tell you what I'm drinking. Y'all already know what I'm drinking, though. I was supposed to try to give y'all a new recipe every month, and let me tell you, creatures of habit say that they're going to do things that they know in their soul can't actually happen. There's no way I could have actually committed to trying a new recipe every month if the recipes did not continue to go badly every month. If they went badly every month, yes, I'm going to give you a new one every month. I'm trying new ones. But when I find a good one, which I did on literally like the first try, we're done. We're done. We're done because I have zeroed in on a favorite and it's not going anywhere for a very long time. But get excited for 2 things. 1, for your girl to achieve her goals of getting nachos in less than half an hour. 2, me trying this new recipe that y'all will see next month. Whether it blows up in my face or goes extremely well, you're going to witness it regardless. I'm not going to tell you what it is. And it's also not, it's not tea. It's a lemonade, but it's kind of a lemonade tea infusion, actually. Now, I'm not very partial to lemonade. I'll drink it in a pinch, honey. But I'm not about to go to nobody's Walmart or nobody's Price Right and buy packets of Kool-Aid to make some lemonade or, any of her sister drinks. That's just not what I just don't need to do that. But this lemonade tea infusion looked beyond basic. Looked pretty good. And there's a little color. I'm giving away too much. You'll have to tune in next month. I almost said next year. Where will I be in a year? See, when I get hungry, I lose my ability to focus. I'm here with you all. I'm doing well again because we want what? Nachos. Next month, you'll see a new recipe that will be cool and knock your freaking socks off. Be there. Moving on. So, those are my you did that for the month of April, which is where we are. Yes. Okay. So the things that I want to do, my goals for this month are to, 1, keep working on Eliza Black. I finished part 1, which was about, I don't know, it was like 100 and, it was 10 chapters. It was 10 chapters. Very round, even number. It made me feel like I had a very balanced story, even if it's way too soon to tell if it is going to remain balanced. But I felt that way, and I celebrated it, kind of. And that's what matters. Amen. Moving on. I want to keep working on Eliza Black. So far, so good. And then 2, I want to finish chapter 1 of my dissertation because I am teaching a class over the summer. It's my first class where I'm the instructor of record. Amen. So I need to focus. So I want to finish chapter 1 of my dissertation. Now, as all writers know, most of the writing process is what? Rewriting. Amen. So I'm not saying I want to be like completely done working on it. I am saying I want to be done. I want to have my, 25 to 28 pages. I want to have that written. I'm already seeing and making notes of places where I'm like, this idea is not fully fleshed out. You will need to come back to this. This might have taken you a paragraph or two too long to explicate. You need to come back and like work this part for brevity. or you don't have any citations here, is it because this is your idea or because you're not being citational? You need to go find those later. I'm already making those notes, but the first thing is to finish the thing, and then I will come back and layer as I draft. I want to be able to layer as I draft while I'm teaching, not have to be writing new content, because it's too much. So as I said, I'm already a little bit over halfway through, so we're making good progress. And that I think I legitimately cut myself on my foot with a pot lid. Now, here's what you need to know to not judge me. It fell. That's all you need to know. Actually, the second thing is I was going to be making ramen right now and then decided against it and to do nachos instead. Now, is it because I cut my foot with a pot lid? You'll never know. But that's what I'm dealing with right now. You never know what people are dealing with. That is your word for the day. So be kind to everybody. Amen? Okay. So those are my 2 April HonesTEA goals. Keep working on Eliza Black. Finish up on the dissertation. Both of those things are going well so far. The third thing and the final thing, pause to hydrate. Wherever you are in your life, in your home, in your heart, in this world, take a sip of something hydrating. Something hydrating. Okay. Because I realized that it could be 5 o'clock somewhere, but I said something hydrating. All right, moving on. So the last thing is I have a goal. I got congested really quickly, but I'm okay. I have a goal of slowing down on this. On the tube, we got to pump the brakes. And listen, it's not you, it's me. Actually, it's not you, it's the tube. It's not you as the viewers. I appreciate every like, every share, every comment. I appreciate you. You individually, you who are watching this with your own eyeballs or eyeball or listening, we span an ability. I appreciate you. And I'll try to find it and put it here. I was on Instagram and I was watching Bree's stories. Bree, her booktube is The Locked Booktician. Go check it out. Her content is amazing. Her spirit is bright and her reads are tight. So go check her out. But on her Instagram stories, it was from someone else, but she posts a lot of really good quotes on there, and one of them was saying essentially that titling people that have YouTube pages, stories, channels, whatever. There's too many platforms and too many knickknacks and vocabularies. I'm not responsible for it. People on YouTube who create videos, titling them content creators, and removing the term and the grammar of art. Now, obviously, they didn't say it this way, but I only have the words that I have, so please just receive what I'm saying. Thank you. Removing the grammar of art from content creation overemphasizes the product and completely invisibilizes the process of creating art, which can be tiring, which can be vulnerable, with all of the things. And think about the content creators who you really like on YouTube in any niche, right? Like the videos where you're like, oh, that was so dope because they were being vulnerable, because they were allowing you into their life, their heart, their mind, or their spirit, because they were being honest. Like that takes stuff out of you. And focusing on content creation, I post 3 times a week. I post every single week 1 video. Whatever the schedule is, know that that's taking time and energy from that person. But for sometimes it takes a while for the content creator to not realize that it's taking energy and time, because we know that. But to put it in perspective of this is being treated like an expectation. Like I should be posting this much, and unless I want to be, I shouldn't be. And when I saw that comment, I was like, because at first I went from posting 3 videos a week for the first 3 months that I was on the platform to 1 a week, and that was great. That was great. But now I'm like, and that's fine. But do you need to tone it back even more because you are an artist, because you are working on a book length manuscript project? There was some redundancy in that. I'm trying to get to my nachos, please. You're working on a novel, you have one in the slow cooker, and you're working on a dissertation. So that's 3 different writing projects. Now, like I said, hashtag first fantasies in the slow cooker. So I'm not really paying it any mind right now. I'm allowing it to braise. But I am working on a dissertation, which is words fail. Like, if you could literally, if I turned my camera but 15 degrees, you would see another side of this table that looks like it's across somebody's border. It's no man's land over here. Like, it's ridiculous. And I'm not turning my camera the opposite direction, 45 degrees either, because once again, no man's land. But it's a lot of work, especially like intellectually, and it's a different kind of fatigue. And I have to do that, right? Like, I have a commitment to that. YouTube is something completely different. And if you're a writer, you know what the labor of like creating a novel is. Those are 2 things that I already had a commitment to before I got on the platform. I wanted to find community. I said that 5,000 times when I first got on here, and I have found it, and it's amazing. But I don't have to there's no attendance. Like, I don't have to post a certain amount of time to keep the connections that I've made. I could take a whole hiatus and still talk to people. So I had to come to self, conference with self, and then make the executive decision that I don't need to post 4 times a week for the rest of the summer, starting May. And maybe even starting with this video being my last video for the month. Next Tuesday, no video. And I literally have already planned the videos that I'm going to do from now until the end of summer. And I'm no, you may not need to do that. Because 1, it's hard to read when you have energy going in that many directions. It becomes hard to read the things that you want to read that are not just fluff. And I do have some books that I want to read that are more serious, and I don't have the energy for them because I have energy in so many channels. I'm tapped out. It's not possible. The second thing is I need to distance myself from being on so many screens, and this is another screen right here, me talking to you. So that, and there was another thing, but honestly, my ability to not function, my ability to focus has really decreased since we've been in this panorama, because everything is online. School's online, meetings online, be on the tube. When I want to calm down, I do what? I watch Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, whatever. More screens. I need to. And so that starts in little areas, nip tucking some stuff. I'm going to have to nip tuck this YouTube a little bit. So I'm going to do 2 videos a month for the entirety of summer. And if some months you only get 1 video of me, savor it. And I have a huge back catalog at this point. Go through the back catalog. But yeah, I'm nip tuck that. So I will continue to do these vlogs about my writing process. And 1 other video, I have no commitment to a particular Tuesday or even a particular day necessarily. When you see, turn your notification button on. That's what I'm really trying to tell you. Turn your notifications on, because if not, you may miss me forever. So I don't want you to miss it. So turn it on. Hit the like button. If you made it this far in the video, comment nachos. And that's it. That's it. So the last one was a little long, but there were only 3 goals for this month. Keep working on Eliza Black, finish chapter 1 of the dissertation, and slow way down on the tube. And that's what I'm going to do. And I thank you all in advance for your support and your continuing to watch my content at such time as it disappears. Thank you very much. All right. Nachos. And y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.